Okay, have you ever really stopped to think about just how much content gets created every single day? We are living in a total media explosion, but there's this massive problem hiding right in plain sight: the language barrier. Today, we're going to dive into a new AI technology that's aiming to tear down those walls for good. So, just how big is this media explosion we're talking about? Well, let's look at the numbers. To really get a sense of the scale, just look at YouTube. Every single day, over 3.7 million new videos are uploaded. It's a nonstop global fire hose of information, entertainment, and creativity. And it's not just long-form video, right? Pop over to Instagram and you've got more than 95 million photos and videos being shared daily. The sheer volume is, well, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. Now, all of this content, it points to a fundamental shift. The old way of consuming media, sitting down for a scheduled show from a big studio, that's completely gone. We are now in a totally fluid, on-demand, and frankly, pretty overwhelming new era of content. So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about this content tsunami and the language divide it creates. Then, we'll introduce an AI-powered answer, check out its ability to speak every language, understand its all-in-one advantage, and finally, take a look at the future of content. But it's not just about the amount of content, it's really about connection. And the single biggest barrier to connecting with a global audience is, and pretty much has always been, language. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Take a massive, digitally native market like India. A staggering 75% of viewers there actually prefer to watch content in their own local languages. If you're a creator trying to reach them, you can't ignore this. And this right here perfectly illustrates how the market's responding. 70% of all new digital content being created in India is already in regional languages. The audience has spoken, loud and clear, and you know what? Smart creators are listening. So the crucial point here is this. Reaching a global audience isn't just about translation, swapping one word for another. It's about true localization. It's about adapting content to capture the cultural nuances, the humor, the emotion of a specific region. That is absolutely mission critical. So, you've got this content explosion on one hand and a massive language divide on the other. This is exactly the problem that a new platform, Choice AI, was built to solve. At its core, Choice AI is what you'd call a full-stack platform. Now, that just means it's designed to handle the entire media life cycle, from creation and editing all the way to localization and moderation, all in one place, and all of it powered by AI. It's really built on three key pillars. First, it's that end-to-end engine that covers the whole shebang. Second, it's designed to be plug and play, so it easily integrates into the platforms creators already know and use. And third, it's adaptive. The AI models are constantly learning and getting better. Okay, now let's get to the main event. The platform's incredible power to break down those language barriers in real time. This is its localization superpower, and it is seriously cool. The workflow is incredibly streamlined. You just ingest your content, the AI handles all the translation and dubbing, it goes through quality checks, and then boom, it's delivered across multiple platforms. What used to take weeks of manual work with different agencies can now be automated. And we're not talking about basic subtitling here. We're talking about high-quality auto-dubbing, where AI models literally analyze mouth movements to make sure the new audio perfectly matches the speaker's lips. It can even do voice cloning, which captures the unique tone and rhythm of the original speaker to keep their vocal identity no matter the language, all in real time. And here's a look under the hood. This single dashboard is the control center. The AI can identify profanity, timestamp it, suggest culturally appropriate translations, and even flag potential compliance issues, all in one single view. It turns a super complex, multi-step process into one manageable workflow. So, why is having all these tools in one place such a big deal? Well, this brings us to what we call the all-in-one advantage. If you look at the competition, a lot of other popular tools are what you'd call point solutions. They do one thing incredibly well, like generating a voice or editing a video. The problem is, creators then have to stitch together 4 or 5 different tools just to get a final product. As you can see, Choice AI is different because it integrates that entire media lifecycle, from creation to analytics, all into one platform. And the results of that unified approach are pretty dramatic. By getting rid of the need to juggle multiple platforms, workflows become up to 5 times faster. Costs can drop by a whopping 60 to 70%, and because it was built with an India-first mindset, it's designed from the ground up to handle complex regulations, which makes it ready for any market in the world. So what does this all mean for the future? It means we're right on the cusp of a truly borderless world for media. The technology to instantly and authentically localize any piece of content for any audience isn't science fiction anymore. The tools are here, they're ready, which means the possibilities for creators, for educators, for businesses are very, very real. Which leaves us with one final important question to think about. If you could speak to anyone, anywhere, in their own language, with all the nuance and emotion perfectly intact, what story would you choose to tell the world?